Kia ora whānau. Welcome to the first episode in I'm Sorry episodes of the Mad Vlog series. Ko tēnā tāne toko ingoa. Welcome to my hometown in Masterton, Aotearoa. It's a beautiful spring's morning in my hometown. It's about probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. But over in Aussie it's half past 10ish, whatever it is. But anyway, I'm sure we all know what we're here for. We're here for a breakdown. So before I get into this, I'll just give you just a quick breakdown and you know, of sort of how we got to this situation. So I grew up in Masterton, Aotearoa, and I left for Australia in 1992. I went to school in Deer Park. First suburb I moved to when I landed was Ardea. I went to Deer Park Secondary College for a few months. The next year, actually just a few months later, we moved to Commercial Road in Footscray. If anyone knows Footscray, it's right in the middle of Droop Street and Gordon Street, and in the middle of Ballarat Road and Geelong Road, right in the hood. That's my Kuri whānau. That's why it's called the Mad Vlog, because it's man and dog. You'll always see my Kuri next to me in all my vlogs, so yeah, expect to see more of the Mad Vlog with my Kuri, or both of my Kuri. There's two of them, but anyway, getting back to the story. I moved to Footscray. I ended up going to Footscray Tech. While I was at Footscray Tech, I met a young fella. He was a couple of years younger than me. I was in year 9 at this time, and I'm sure he was year 7 or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm just going to guess he's year 7. His name was Daniel Warwick. I went to school with his sister Ilea. I was best mates with his older brother Lee and his other older brother Michael, and another older brother Joe, and another younger brother Bo. All very good friends of mine. His mum, also a good friend. His dad, his uncles. Pretty much, yeah, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them guys. So getting back to the story, these these are actually yellow. That's why I drew them in this colour, because to represent they're like a creamy yellow colour. This green thing is a note dispenser, like the pokies. And when you put your notes into the pokies, it'll suck the notes in. Actually, I'll go back. This machine is full of like say 5-cent coins, 10-cent coins, 20s, 50s, 1s and 2s, and then there's these rows. They're all in rows, and the last 2 rows are full of notes. And they're film canisters. I explained earlier in the videos, but I'll try and give a bit more detail. They're all in rows of like film canisters. And each one of these canisters, there's rows of 50s, like six rows and 6 rows or something. I'm not sure if I know. The experts will know. And each one of these film canisters, there's probably about 15 in each row, has $200. They have 4 50s in the 50s, and there's no 20s, there's only 5s and 10s. And each one has 100 in each. And then obviously the armor guard rolls with the $2 coins, the $1 coins, they're all wrapped up in the paper. And you know, when they smack them on the tills and then they break them into the tills, well, that's ideally what this machine's for. So when they come back to putting the money in the note, except the thing like the pokies, these things have got like the 5 cents, 10 cents, 50 cents, $1, $2, 5s and 10s, 50s, however it works. And say that, or even just say they're running low, I'm sure they can just press what they need. They don't actually have to put anything in there. That actually sucks for me, because anything they take out, I want them to replace with cash. So ideally, I want them to put cash in and say, you know, swap. So that way, everything they've taken out is going to be in the canister inside when we get there, and we're going to get there, whānau. So don't worry about that. If anyone's worked in Coles, or Bunnings, or Kmart, and you know these machines, please help us out, because I don't know what they are. All I know is I'm pretty sure they're made in Canada, because obviously I take the canister with me, and I checked on the you know, on the made in Canada. So I just assumed if the canister was, and this system was made in Canada, the whole thing was likely to be made. Also, a quick disclaimer. These are now obsolete, whānau, so anything I tell you about these things, you can't do this anymore. So this was, you know, old technology, an old technique. Forget about it. It's done and dusted. So I'm not endorsing this stuff anyway, either, whānau. If anything, I'm trying to show my life and how I still made a mess of things, even with all this privilege at my hands. I still made a mess of it without financial maturity, you know, just all that basic stuff, hey, you know, like we'll talk about that in the future, whānau. I'm hoping to get there because ideally this channel is all about wellness and recovery, and part of my recovery is accepting responsibility for some of the stuff I've done, and like the emphasis on my whole series is how I stole $1 million. Well, yes, as I said, from 93 to 2012, I stole over $1 million from Australia, and Australia gave me a good life, and I'm very grateful for the life I got from Australia, and I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I did what I did, and if I can make up for it in any way by preventing even just one young, just one person's son or daughter from going down this road, then Mauri ora whānau, that's the plan, eh? Follow along and get involved, whānau. We're going to get to all of it. We're going to go through all of it. Boys' homes. I done boys' homes in Tirana in '93. I was the very first. We were the very first trainees. They called them in YTC, in MJJC. So in Remand, South Bank, Westgate, and Eastern Hill, we were the very first ever in 1993 to move in there, and then went from there 96 or so to Pentridge at 17. Went through D Division, B Division. So on and so on. We'll get into that later, whānau. If you want to know all about that, get in the comments and tell me what you want me to talk about next. And actually, I know what's next, so just tell me what you want to talk about in future. That'll be mean. Too much anyway. So we should just get into this, whānau. So, all right, we've wrangled the Rexy. This is what you want. This is what my brother Melks. Cheer Melks. Like and subscribe to Melks. If I know how to get the links and all that, the brother Melks, he's got a channel as well. He's inspired me. The brother Sunny Jim, for everybody, Dre Skrilla, Spanian, Chugs, Underworld Bill, cheer brothers, fuck, cheer. Anyway, get involved, whānau. Right, where we at? We wanna we're back at HQ. Yeah, HQ. HQ for us Australian viewers. HQ, okay? I'll try to put on an Australian accent for you sick cunts. All right, sick cunts. We want to get in here. We know we're at HQ. Already wrangled a Rexy. We've headed off to Brimbank Shopping Centre. Brimbank, okay? Brimbank Shopping Centre. Right. So we showed you the back of the loading dock. There was a roller door on my shorts. Well, in 2008, there was no roller door, okay? So there was no roller door, so we had access straight to the double doors. There should be double doors behind there. So that means it's a double door, just like our tank here. And usually a double door is simple. But on this particular occasion, if they had just done the same thing they did to this fire exit, they would have prevented 20 some odd of these being able to get broken into just by reinforcing this centre bit, because on the fire escape that I come across on the Brimbank entry, they had a reinforcing plate that comes over, so you can't get your screwdriver and get a lip very easy. It was difficult anyway. It was easier in this particular scenario. If anyone knows how to tap a hinge, and you've ever had to take the hinge out of your wardrobe, or whatever, your wardrobe at home, and you take your hinge out, and then you could just sort of pop your whole fucking wardrobe door out. Well, same concept, whānau. Tap the old hinge on your fire exit. Boom. We've got entry to the the loading bay, and where the old butcher and all that in the back of the shopping centre. Anyway, as I said earlier in the shorts, our target species is in the front of the cigarettes, in the old cigarette section. All right, so we need to run from our loading dock all the way to the front of the supermarket now. But hey, even the most unfit person, they can get there in less than a minute. Short, let's just say a minute. That's being generous. All right, we've ran a minute. Okay, it doesn't matter how long it takes us to get in because no one knows we're there. We haven't set no alarms off. No one's even alerted to even come yet. So we're not under any pressure and we're not concerned right now. Our time starts from pretty much when we hear the alarm go, really, but we're not worried about time. Okay, let's stay on track. Right, we've gained entry, so let's start the clock, okay? Let's say, boom, 1 minute to the front of the where the cigarette, you know, the cigarette area is, whānau, right at the front. It's like the information centre. They sell the cigarettes, and right behind them, so they're here serving you. Well, usually right behind them, and the cigarettes are in the counter, is one of these machines. You've probably seen them a million times and never known. They're even in the Bunnings, and they were in the Bunnings in the key cutting section. And yeah, so we're at the front now, right at the front of the Brimbank Coles. First tool we're going to need, we're not going to need many for today's mahi whānau. We only needed, I haven't got bolt cutters handy because, you know, I haven't been very active for a long time, and I don't have them handy because why do you need them when you're not active? But let's just pretend these are bolt cutters. We've got them for, you know, just in case we needed them. But to open this guy, or this gill, all we need is a heavy duty screwdriver. So just imagine this screwdriver is a little bit bigger. And if anybody knows how to jimmy a door, it's just a simple wedge and jimmy. Wedge and jimmy. So we'd start down the bottom, because you always start down the bottom, or the top if you're, you know, 7 foot tall. But it's usually easiest to start from the bottom. You'll try and wedge your smallest piece straight in the center. There's a little gap between these two doors, and you can just wedge a little screwdriver, well, a large screwdriver in this case, in, and it gets you a little gap. That little gap's big enough, and I'm using the skinnier crowbar, the big sort of long, you know, the long circly coloured ones. Boom, we're going to squeeze that crowbar in now, bang. We're going to wedge her up a bit, give it some leverage, make our gap bigger. Our heavy duty's coming in now. We're going to slide our screwdriver up as high as we can go, because there's a gap there now, right? Or a slight gap, so we'll slide up as much as we can to keep our gap, keep our tension on, so we can come above again. And it's usually about here. I can usually pop it, but we'll just go again one more. Let's go again. We're up here now, and actually usually here I'll swap around to the other end to give it more leverage, and right about this time we'll just go bang, and that whole door would pop. Okay, normally I wouldn't do what I'm about to explain first, but I'll just explain. So imagine this door's flung open. I'd now stick my head in, and I'd be able to sort of look behind this door, and right here and here there's two little locks. One pin goes down and another pin goes up, and they're on little springs. So you have to pull this one down and pull that one up, and that door will fling open now. And then once we fling that open, we've now exposed ourselves to the inside whānau. And if you've seen in the shorts, this was the film canisters. So all these there's 2 orange trays, say, and they hold the $50 notes. Another 2 blue trays, they hold the, you know, 5s and 10s. Then there's, you know, a tray of 2s, tray of 1s, and there's probably at least $5,000 just in gold whānau. If somebody would like to do a rough calculation, what $2,500 in $2 coins and $2,500 in $1 coins would weigh, just out of curiosity, drop it in the comments, please. Okay, coming back to what I was explaining before. This is the film canister, the cash canister. So this is the outside of the safe, and that's where the notes will be going in here, and the notes will be feeding in here, getting stacked up. If I know sometimes there's 12,000 in here, 14,000. It's just lucky dip when it comes to that. To get this gill out, we're just going to come up. We'll come up here and we'll smash our screwdriver between the case holding it and the actual canister, and we're just going to pop it and wedge it out. Again, whānau, I'm not endorsing this stuff. Okay, whānau? I'm not trying to glorify crime. This is my true life story, and I'm just trying to explain what I done in life and how I did it. How's it going, guys? You all right? We've got the police here, whānau, checking us out. Okay, this is how I would pop it out. Yeah. If this was real life, holy heck, snapped. Anyway, boom, we pulled this out. Again, we got our bag straight under. So really I'm sitting here, whānau. So we're sitting here, my bag's here, and I'm popping the the canister out, that canister is going straight in my bag. If I'm lucky, that canister is going to hold 12, 14, 15,000. I'm not letting that go. That's the first thing I want, and that's going in that bag no matter what. And if I have to call it a day now, because I hear, whatever, for whatever reason, we do not get greedy. First rule is we don't get greedy. We're prepared to drop everything we got to get away. Golden rule, live to fight another day. Okay, now let's head back over to here because we just need to explain some of this simple stuff. Right, to get at this, right, there's actually, I'll explain, see these little yellow things here? There's normally a bar that comes across here, and it's like it's on like a swing. It can swing up and down. This little section here, when the tellers push the button saying they need, $200 in 5s and 10s, they'll push that button and some little contraption spins it out and it goes, and it'll spin it out into the same thing like a pokey trough again. So when you press the collect on a pokey trough, it'll spit the money out and you collect all your coins out of the trough. Well, that's that trough, same thing here. And all this money gets, spat out whenever it's needed or whenever it's asked for. And then, so another thing we need to do is flip this bar over. And what I normally do is I'll get my little screwdriver and I'll just pop the 5s and the 10s and the 20s and the 50s. I don't even want them. They're too heavy for me to carry, and it's just not worth the risk to reward. So we let the silvers go. We just toss them on the floor. And the reason we want to do this is because we want to get to the ones so we can tilt this tray now and just slide it out without any of them falling out. Because if we try to pull it straight this way, they're all just going to go with gravity and topple out. We don't want that. So we want to go. So now if you could imagine almost like a tray like this, but now because I've got the top up like this, the top's actually empty and I can slide the whole $1 coins into my bag. Same thing with the 2s. So if you imagine it's like this, I'm going to go boom like this, pull it out, and then just let the whole thing, 5,000 odd dollars in gold coins, straight in the bag, whānau. Again, if someone could comment on what that would weigh, that would be great, because I've always wondered what that would weigh. Now here's the good stuff. This is like, as good as this gold stuff is, like this is where it's at, whānau. This canister and these film canister things. You remember the film, when you took a photo back in the old days, you youngsters won't know, but we had cameras that had film in it, and it was like a negative. And those negatives went in like a film canister. And so if you could imagine how many film canisters you'd fit in there, and every one of them's got, $200, easy money. So again, we're going to tilt our tray out. We're going to tip our 5s and 10s in. Same thing with the other ones. Same thing with the 50s now. Same thing with the other 50s. We're done, whānau. First, brim bank coals down. Right? Let's just say, because of the extra weight, it's going to take us another 1.5 minutes to get back out to our Rexy. So that's 2.5 minutes just for that running back and forth. So before we go into Point Cook or Altona, the locals will know it's Point Cook. Everyone else will call it Altona. But anyway, how long this thing takes to break. Okay, so let's just imagine we're back here at the start again. Here you go. Here you go. Sorry, whānau, just got to call my dog. Here you go. Oh, yeah. All right, so put the timer on, whānau. So we're going to shove our screw. Oh, actually, we'll get both. Just go sit down, girl. All right, we're gonna. All right, ready, set, go. So we'll go boom, quick gap, wedge, crowbar in, wedge again. Same thing, high as we can, bit of leverage, swap places, boom, swap places. One more time, flip it around, boom, she's popped open. Crowbar goes straight in there. We don't need that again. We're gonna wrangle up for the canister. Might need a few little boop, 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 boop. Bang, did it come out? No, we'll say it didn't. Let's say we have to wrestle and pull it out. Boom, pulled it out. We've got the canister. That's in the bag. Now we go around inside, like I said, pull the pins, flip that door open, spit the bar over. We grab our screwdriver again in the 5 cent coins or whatever's the smallest ones in there. I'm not even sure. flip that out again, boom, throw it down there. Same thing again, sorry, I'll slow down. One more time, pull it out, throw it down. Same thing again, throw it down. Same thing again, throw it down. Now we're at the ones we want. We can put our screwdriver away now. We don't need it because we don't leave tools behind, whānau. That's the other golden rule. Never leave any tools behind. Boom. Actually, tilt out nice and steady. 5s and 10s are going in. Toss our tray. Tilt out nice and steady. The other 5s and 10s are going in. We toss our tray. One more time, whānau. Rinse and repeat. 50s are going in. Toss the tray. Last one, whānau, we're out of here. Not sure what the time is, but let's do it. Toss the tray. Let's go. Zip our bag up. We don't want nothing falling out, right? Let's just imagine for argument's sake. Boom. Minute and a half. Stop the clock. All right. We're in the Rexy. I took off, and just so happened because I went to school in Deer Park, I know the bus route through there, so I took the back way just so I didn't go back out onto the main road, Station Road, or whatever that bloody road is. And I took the bus route past Deer Park Secondary, it's another name now. And I took the new road, it was a new road at this time through Carnley, and it meets up with Furlong Road where the hospital is, straight past the hospital, up on Sunshine Ave, down over the road over to Braybrook. Here you go. And off to HQ, boom, empty the bag. All right, whānau, 20k down, easy money. That only took, I'm not sure what the clock says at this stage, but it didn't take long, whānau, put it to you that way. Okay, where we at now? We're going to Point Cook now. All right, we've emptied our bag, cash is safe. Back off to, where did I say, Point Cook from Footscray. Let's say 20 minutes, going easy, you know, not trying to draw no attention, just cruising. Pull into the lobby bay again, reversed in, like I said, gone up the stairs to the fire exit in this case. Same thing this time, whānau, but this time there's no double doors. So in this situation, it's a tap the hinge scenario. Let's imagine we tap the old wardrobe door, boom. Same thing again, whānau, this video is going to get quite simple now, but same thing, whānau, whatever the clock was, let's say put another minute on to get to the front from the back of the loading dock, another however many minutes for this guy, same scenario, pop the canister, pop the door, flip the bar, pop the silvers, with the golds, with the 5s and 10s, with the 50s, boom, again, whānau. Apologies if that seems quite quick, but there's no need to sort of, you know what it is now, like it is what it is now. We like the rest of these videos are just going to be where I went and sort of how it worked. I hope you stick around for the rest of the 20. There's another 20 odd of these to go, so if this is your sort of thing, don't think that it just stops here. There's a lot more. I've got this is just one, but one technique. There's many other techniques and skills to explore and talk about. Car chases, police violence, you name it, drugs, all of it. The Vietnamese, the Lebanese, the Kuris, all the prisons, the New South Wales prison system, the Queensland prison system, the West Australian prison system, the New Zealand prison system. We're going to talk it all. Well, actually, that's one thing we'll talk about. I'm going to do a state of origin prison series. So I'm going to rate all the states that I've done jail in. So we've done Victoria, home state, done a little bit of time in Kempsey and Grafton in New South Wales, done a bit of a 4-year lag in Queensland. I did that in Woodford, Arthur Gorrie, BCC, and I've done a little bit of time up in Capricornia. I've done some time over in WA, another 4-year lag there for a bit of a violent assault on a security guard. Did that time in, it was CW Campbell at that time, Remand Centre, and Canning Vale Sentence. There was no Hakea, there was no container prisons, it was just those 2 prisons, and you could still drive in and get into the car park. There was no big wall around the both of them. So it was back in the old days, whānau. Like I said, I started at Tirana, went to MJJC from there, went to Pentridge, and so on. And then I get deported in 2000, back home, boom, what do you think? You know, you're still a young fella, have no clue, playing up like a good boy. Jail, same old thing. But this is where the channel's going whānau. It's just something to get the, I'm trying to write a diary. So this is, instead of me writing a diary, I figured that's what a vlog is, eh? It's just a diary. So like I said, this is my pūrākau. That's my life story, and I'm gonna lay it bare. And to the Victorian Police, the South Australian Police, the Queensland Police, the New South Wales Police, the ACT Police, and the Tasmanian Police, get subscribed, because by the time I'm finished here, you guys are gonna have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of unsolved burglaries now explained and solved. Because like I said, I'm sorry. And if this help cleans up some of your mess in your country, because right now your country's a mess. You guys need to have a good hard look at yourselves, because anyway, that's another topic. I'm sorry, whānau. Great country, I love yous all, and I want nothing but the best for everybody. And I hope that this shines a light on what not to do. So even though I had this privilege of having all this money in the world, being able to do whatever I want, and don't forget, whānau, in 2008, 2009, when this happened, it was the global financial crisis. And I'll give you a quick scenario, okay? Lo and behold, I just happened to come across large sums of money, so I happened to buy myself a SS Commodore for Christmas this year. And in this particular year, any other time at this period, SS Commodore, especially only one that's 2 or 3 years old, would still be $40,000. But when the global financial crisis hit, an SS Commodore was 10 grand cheaper. So I spoiled myself, whānau, and I bought my first of 2 VE SS Commodores. All my friends know that you know, all my whānau know, and that I'm just, you know, spewing big manning, eh, you know. But what I'm trying to highlight is, what a fool, just what a fool. Meant nothing, means nothing, no clue, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to myself for failing myself, and like I say, it's for the next generation now. If we can't do better by our next generation, well then I'm going to call myself a complete failure, and I'm going to blame every one of you parents that are doing this with me. I'm going to blame yous too, because we're in this together. And if we as a team can't sort our bullshit out, all this bloody politicking and all this nonsense, oh, whānau. Anyway, we'll talk about that in other topics and other things. Oh, Jesus, we're not even finished, eh? So we're at the Point Cook. I got to the Point Cook, eh? So all right, we'll go back to the Point Cook. Boom, same thing, whānau. Another 20k in the bag, easy money. If you want me to run through it all again just for, you know, entertainment, I think that'll be, you will be bored by now and click off. So let's say we've headed back to HQ. HQ dropped off another 20. Now we're heading up to Campbellfield. Easiest way to get to Campbellfield, anyone know in the west, straight on the ring road. But you know, whatever way you want to get there, you just get there whatever way you know. If you want to go down Flemington Road and come up through the zoo and go that way, you go that way. That's the fast way. But anyway, Campbellfield. Like the shorts was, this time we've reversed up into the old what do you call it? I don't want to say handicap. The bloody disabled parking. The disabled parking reversed into there, but this time we're going to need this tool to gain entry. We're going to just need a simple common chisel, the good old chisel, mate. Right? If anyone's aware of glass doors, say, right? In the glass doors, sometimes you have these little aluminium frames around the edges of them, and you can just use your chisel to sort of pop them out. I won't explain how to do it. Glaziers and all the, you know, the experts know how to do this. It's not important because you could just smash a window if you needed. So this knowledge isn't going to help. Again, we're not endorsing or trying to glorify this. This is my life story. I live this. This is a lived experience. If Ted West or Wolf West was not a fictional character, he'd wish he was doing this. But not glorifying this whānau. This is, you know, this is what movies are made of, this lifestyle. Because after I leave here, I've got a shitload of money, and I decide to travel all around Australia taking advantage, because I didn't want to do this in my hometown or you know, where I lived, which was Melbourne, and get a surveillance team like my bros did and go down for everything and get caught on camera doing it. So you know, I said let's go interstate and let's just fucking smack them over. But I think the bro was a bit scared because he was on parole and he thought if he jumped on the airport and whatever and that, anyway, never mind. Campbellfield. Oh yeah, right, easy one now. See, this time, whānau, we ain't at the back of the loading dock now. So we're at the front doors now. Let's say we've popped this pane of glass. So we take this pane of glass out because we've taken the framing off and we've pulled the rubber out and shit. So we take our pane of glass, we put it miles away because we don't want it falling over in our path and smashing and giving us something to cut ourselves on and leave DNA in that. No way, we don't roll like that. So, okay, now let's put the clock on. I'm not sure how far you will think it is, but we're right at the front sliding door now, and the smoke section and all the tools are all just right there. So it's literally 10 seconds, whānau. So now we've only got a 10-second walk to our target. Same thing again, whānau. What did that take? A minute? Let's just say it took a minute, and then another minute to empty. So 2.5 minutes. Let's just say 3 minutes from the moment we gain entry. Boom, another 20,000's in that bag. The tools are all in there with it again. No tools never got left behind. The only thing that will be there is the CCTV, and that's about it. But any other evidence, there was nothing in these three. But the other ones, they obviously had, you know, surveillance footage, and that's why they actually, you know, had to do time for those ones. But I think they got off these three because I don't want to brag or anything, but why they were in remand. The fourth one I was talking about, I did a fourth one and they were locked up at the time. And I think it's just me using my common sense that if the police have guys in jail for the things they thought they did, and then another crew comes out and hits the very same things, that creates doubt. And because those first three that I had done, you know, didn't have no evidence attached to it other than the CCTV footage of, you know, whoever's ran in and you know, done all this. There was no other evidence, no tools, no fingerprints, none of that carry on. So it just went from there, and they got off in the end, those three, which I'm happy for. But still, like I said, they did it. You know, they got charged and they did a year in remand for these. Well, for a lot of them, but three of these three as well. So to my brothers, big good win, way to get the win. But again, you know, my bad, brothers, too much. Anyway, yep, bowled straight back out onto the Hume Highway or Sydney Road, whatever the heck it's called. Boom, and the Western Ring Road straight there. We've gone straight down, you know, the Western Ring Road out to Airport West, and then cut through Essendon, Aberfeldy ways, up onto Maribyrnong Road, up the back of High Point. Boom, straight up to Ballarat Road where HQ is situated. Easy money, whānau, like I said. Every one of these from here is pretty much the same sort of concept, whānau. We're going to either back through the loading dock or straight through a window at the front or straight through the door at the front, whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. We just want to get to this because it only takes 3 minutes to empty this thing, and for 3 minutes work for $20,000, oh man, like it was almost like a drug addiction. Like what there was no drug. I haven't had any drug. I've tried a lot of drugs, whānau, and again, I don't endorse drugs. Not trying to glorify that either. Don't use drugs, children. But yeah, what a rush, what a rush. Probably coming we're probably coming to the end of the video, whānau. I hope you stuck around to the end. I hope you commenting. I hope you like and share. Like I said, we're gonna head off to get in the comments, pick a state. I'll let you guys choose where I go and tell you the holiday and how everything goes from here, because I'm sure you're interested. How does this go from here? Like, how does one do this? That's what we're here to tell you about, whānau. And like I said, that's just the start of it. We're going to get into like ram raids. We're going to get into cutting phone alarms and not phone alarms, cutting phone wires to disable shop alarms. We're going to talk about dodging shop alarms. Whatever it takes, whānau, we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it all. I hope you stick around. I hope you like the video. Subscribe. Hashtag get involved, whānau, and just stay well, whānau. Be kind. Be good to each other, and mō te ora. Whānau.